and may not be suitable for children under 13 years of age. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey, what's going on, guys? Patriot Prime here once again with another episode of the SITREP. And my guest tonight is TruStarscreamer, a.k.a. Dave, from the YouTube channel Figure Action. And I met Dave at TFCON in Baltimore. What was it, last weekend? Gosh, it feels like just yesterday.
Oh, tell me about it.
But Dave sat down with us, and we met over
Pain.
Pain.
Pure, unadulterated pain.
But you hung in for quite a while. I mean, you were there up until almost the very end.
I think I made it. I was about 5 minutes. It felt like I was there to the end, but I think I made it just a little bit past the 5 minute mark.
I think you dropped out just as we were noticing Antonio dying behind us.
Yeah. I had to do I'm the one fetching the trash can. And then I got
if you're going to puke on camera.
Exactly. Oh, God.
And for those of you in the chat, Antonio, the guy who ate the chip and about died, he's willing to come on my show live. So hopefully we'll talk to him Sunday. See how he's doing. Big shout out. Hey, everybody in the chat. There's Engineer Hoist. He had the chip with us.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin, Delmas Dugan, Firetox. Oh, yeah. Firetox almost threw up on my back. He was right behind me eating that chip. Elites, Westeros Prime, MC, DJ, AC, DC. Oh, I got it right that time. Benjamin, Fitz, Survive Fan, Extra Zero. Oh, that was the guy that ate the chip and didn't even phase him, right?
Okay. Zero's part of the crew.
Right.
And I actually went on the show last week. The first thing to say, that man has a stomach of steel. He kicked my ass. This is me going on this show saying that Extra Zero is, when it comes to spices, much more badass than I will ever be. And I am man enough to admit it, that he is my better.
Well, it's funny because I was rewatching the video because I want to see the action I'm missing. And I'm watching, he pops and he's just kind of sitting there. So, oh, yeah, eyes are watered a little bit, but it's all right. Where's the salsa?
We went to another bar afterward, and I'm sitting here. I'm having like time delayed reactions to things, and he goes and orders freaking habanero mango wings.
Like, well, those are good.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was something else. But I tell you, Antonio scared the hell out of us. We thought TFCon was going to end bad, but he perked right up, and things were great. Probably won't do that again. unless we know our crowd.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how the SITREP works is I have 10 questions for my guest, 10 questions regarding him as a Transformer collector, and 10 questions regarding him as a YouTuber. Now, something different with TruStarscreamer here is he is part of a YouTuber collective. It's like a group of guys who run Figure Action. And I see it says podcast. So do you do the YouTube channel and a podcast, or you focus more on the podcast?
More the podcast. I personally, I'm on Instagram at TruStarscreamer. I'm on TikTok, but I tried doing a YouTube channel, and I've got videos, but they're just never really took off. I sit here and I hang out with some of the coolest YouTubers out there, and I just have never been able to. At TFCon, I'm hanging out with Balt Matrix. He's got my number. I'm hanging out with Team N978. You guys, and it's just Delos Baldwin. He actually used to be on this show. I actually was his replacement after he stepped back. And for me, I don't feel so bad because I love my photography, and my Instagram does pretty well. So that's my big thing.
Awesome. So I kind of dabble in Instagram. I love taking pictures, especially when I started doing the Toyhax stuff, because I would have to take a picture and edit it to make a good thumbnail to promote it. So I've gotten really good at toy photography. That's something I thought I'd never be doing, but you know what? It is what it is.
That's my biggest passion. I do that, and I do a little bit of figure modification, repaints and stuff. So
I haven't delved into figure repainting yet. I think I've touched up a figure or two with a Sharpie and maybe painted something black, but I've never really gone into the details other than toy hack stuff.
Panel lining is a bad habit. Once you start panel lining, I remember when I first got the Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, and I was just looking at it, and I'm like, I'm about to paint in every groove on that thing.
Don't they make special pins for that?
Yes, you can pick them up at a hobby store. You can get Gundam, but by Bandai, they're actually called Gundam pens.
Okay.
And you can they also have another type of paint where you just literally take a droplet and it flows through the groove. It's actually really cool to watch.
Neat. I'm going to check it out. Oh, Elites just donated a super chat. Thank you very much, Elites. And I believe I told you that when people donate to the channel, they get a special gift. And Elite, he's a big fan of Bert's. So let's give him a Bert. Judging by your face, you haven't seen that one before.
My wife is safe.
Yeah, I've got a few. Thanks, Elites. Oh, David CP. Oh, God, not this.
Elite.
Hey, Nick, and you got to shake Bert's hand. I mean, you've seen more of Bert than most people ever have. I think you've seen more of Bert than Bert has. And you got to shake his hand at TFCON. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the questions because this is going to derail anyway. And there's Cato in the chat. Hello, Cato.
Cato! We had him on the show.
We embarrassed the shit out of him when he showed up at TFCon because it was Bert, Rodimus, and I think Deluxe. We were all upstairs waiting in line to get our armbands. And Cato starts walking up, and we see him, and all of us in unison just yell, "It's Cato!" It was great. He agrees. Look at all them cry faces. All right. So, question number 1, sir. What is the appeal of Transformers for you?
Oh, God. It's so many stages I could say that too. I mean, when I first got into it, I guess you'd say when I was a little kid, it was just the fact of it would keep me busy because I'd be like, okay, I got a car. Okay, now I got a robot. Now I got a car. I mean, I know exactly I fell in love with it when I saw the very first commercial, and it was the one with the old animation errors, like the black face, the dark-headed Megatron.
The G1 Marvel commercial.
No, just the very first G1 commercial.
Was that the one where Megatron actually had a trigger and handle on his fusion cannon?
Exactly.
Okay, I know the one you're talking about.
And I mean, as soon as I saw the Seekers, I was like, I saw those planes transform, that squadron. I was like, I was in love. And then, started watching the cartoon. Then I started reading the comics, and the comics just totally took off. And then, I mean, I love every type of giant robot out there. I am a giant robot fiend. Always have, from Voltron, Robotech. But there was just something of the fact that these weren't mechs. These had personality to them, which is what made it all that much better. And of course, I fell completely for Starscream.
He couldn't tell by your name.
Yeah, exactly. I used to have every version of him, but and it was just that was the thing. It was literally like, yes, more than meets the eye. I was just completely it could take what am I looking for? All my ADD was satisfied.
Now, I like the fact you appreciate the Marvel G1 comics because when I was growing up here in Podunk, West Virginia, and only TV stations I got was when I turned the dial on my antenna to see what would pick up, and there was no Transformers. I had the Saturday morning cartoons, like Dungeons and Dragons and Smurfs and stuff like that, but I didn't get the good WGN stuff, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Brave Star, things like that. So G1 Marvel was my fiction growing up. And the one thing I always appreciated with Marvel Comics was how the stories grew up with you.
Yes.
I mean, you first picked up that issue number 1 when you were 9 or 10 years old. And by the time the series ended, you were in high school. And I continued reading up until that series ended with issue number 80 of a 4-issue limited series.
When Simon Furman took over, it just became something entirely different.
Oh, exactly. He was awesome. All right. Well, question number 2. Aside from G1, which is always the number one answer, what is your favorite Transformers fiction? There's T-Man. That's Kato again. There's T-Man.
It's actually my favorite is I'm torn between 2. I love Prime, and I love Galaxy Force, or which was Cybertron in the US.
I couldn't get past the animation on that one, or maybe that was at that point where I really wasn't back into Transformers again, because I started collecting again when Beast Wars hit. I only collected the Predacons. I just thought they were cooler. And then, I was really excited when Robots in Disguise came out and they were back to vehicles, but I just never could get into the shows. And I don't think I really got into the TV shows again until Prime came out.
Prime, I mean, I think I like Galaxy Force, but I think Prime really is the most solid fiction I've seen on TV.
And see, I almost gave up on Prime too, because the biggest problem with all these Transformers shows, they always start off so kiddified.
Yes.
For the kids. And it's not until about 6 episodes in, where they realize little Timmy's not watching this, his dad is. So let's make the stories more darker. And
exactly. I think it was when Skyquake, the Skyquake episode and on is when it started really picking up. I mean,
that's when he died and went into the. Was that the one where he died and went in the alternate dimension? It was like
he was already killed. Skyquake was killed, and they were like fighting the zombies or something like that. It was just like, this got really, really dark.
Oh yeah.
And then, I mean, I was still watching it for almost the sake of watching it. And then when the season 1 ended with Optimus Prime turning Decepticon, I'm like, okay, you caught me off guard. Good job. You caught me off guard.
Well, the one that got me was when I can't remember the name of the evil general, but he became Nemesis Prime. And when the Nemesis Prime body fell down and crushed him, I'm like, okay. I think that's how it. We're both thinking way too hard on this one.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody in the chat has to remember. Wasn't there a scene where a robot crushed the guy, and I mean paralyzed him or something, maybe killed him? I can't.
Oh,
remember.
No. He got
Clancy Brown voiced him.
He got put into Breakdown's body.
Yeah, Silas, that was it.
Yeah, Silas, who was voiced by Clancy Brown. Yeah, that show also had an amazing voice cast.
Oh,
I mean,
it'll always be the Kurgan to me.
Yeah, that Tony Todd was in that. I mean, that was awesome. But yeah, General Silas. We were talking about the Dark General. I took me for a second. Yeah, and then he got put into Breakdown's body. That was abso-freaking-lutely.
There we go.
Cool
that was
what happened to him. And then he was like, still became like a vampire at the. I'm like, holy crap!
I know it was messed up. I remember watching my wife was in the other room. I was watching the season finale, and when Bumblebee actually stabbed Megatron through, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm rewinding it right there. I can't believe they just showed that on TV.
It was as you go back there, I think I'm going to say Prime was absolutely awesome, and then they came out with that little kitty version right after it, and I was just took the wind out of my sails.
Was that animated?
Yeah, it was called Prime Robots in Disguise. Yeah, that was completely animated.
Oh yeah, that's where the Decepticons are all animals or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't get into that either. All right, we have lost track. Let's go to number 3. Do you have a favorite figure or grail, a figure you will never let go of? Say you have to sell your whole collection. This one's not going anywhere.
Probably my G1 Starscream more than anything else.
100% complete.
Oh yes, even at the little wheel.
Nice.
Back in the cockpit. Though I do have a Grail figure. I do actually have a G1 Overlord. Not in the best condition, but I got a G1 Overlord.
I got to hold one again at TFCON, and individuals, said he'd sell it to me, but it was missing a lot of the parts needed for robot mode. And I know Overlord well enough to know just to buy those parts was going to cost me triple what I was going to pay for the figure. So just one of those things. And Nick here in the chat, he actually lent me his Overlord to do a review on. And for that, I'm eternally grateful because I got to hold, play with, and mess with an Overlord. But it was like with kid gloves because I reviewed it, played with it, and the next day it was back in the box going back to Nick. So, Nick, thank you. Oh, there's Rico Red Star. He played with the Pocky Challenge with us. I think he sat right across from you.
Okay. Oh, I think so. Yes.
He was that guy going. Where were we now? Oh, question number 4. What figure is your white whale, your most wanted toy?
Oh, man.
I like hitting people these easy questions.
I know. It's hard to think. What do I have? It's also like, what do I don't have? What do I not have anymore, too? Because I used to have. I would probably say it would be if I could ever get my hands on it, would be a complete G1 Leo Kaiser.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I've never went Japanese yet. I've got all my American releases. I think I'm missing about 12 Autobots. Got all the American release Decepticons, missing about 12 Autobots, but just have not went G1 yet. Of course, my biggest problem is I'm running out of space. And I don't want to be putting all my stuff in totes. I've spent the money on these things. I want to have them out where I can walk in this room and just go, I told you earlier what my job is. I would like to walk into this room and just go, fantasy world.
That was the day when I did my first collection purge. It was when I was running out of room and I was about to put things into totes, and I'm like, why am I putting this into a tote? I want to see it. But if I've determined this is worth putting into a tote, then that means it's not worth being in my collection to go on display.
Now, right here, I showed you this earlier. This whole room used to be half Star Wars, half Transformers. As you can see, Star Wars is in totes. I mean, how many Darth Vaders can you have?
I'm with you on that. No, actually, I've purged my black collection twice. And then the Mandalorian started.
I got a black Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and Kylo Ren. I did like Kylo Ren from the prequel trilogy. I thought he was cool, and then got all whiny there at the end, but we won't talk about Star Wars here. So, yeah, I had a few black figures, but a lot of mine were, of course, I started recollecting. I had a bunch of them when I was a kid in 77. I just dated myself there. And then I got a bunch of the Power of the Force ones, and then I just started collecting as all the new lines came up, I think up until Revenge of the Sith. And then I pretty much was done. I was like, okay, I've got 15 Darth Vaders, because a Darth Vader would always show up no matter what film. I mean, you had new Darth Vader for Attack of the Clones. I'm like, Darth Vader's not in that movie. But you bought it anyway.
I mean, there was some. I like the New Hope one, but yeah, I mean, like, I don't have any more Vaders. My Vaders are gone. I guess the only thing I've got for Star Wars Black is the Mandalorian stuff now. So
I can't. Did you see Book of Boba Fett trailer today?
Yes. I've been waiting 35 years for this.
Isn't it amazing? Because we were growing up, Boba Fett was such a badass character, but he really didn't do anything.
Nope. He stood around, looked imposing, and then had his backpack slapped.
Oh, Kato. We love you, man. Kato and I are actually planning on going to the Big Lick Comic-Con in February in Roanoke.
Ooh.
So it's like a 5-hour drive for him. It's a 90-minute drive for me this time.
Oh, that's a no-brainer.
And what I like about it is $16 ticket to get in, and my son can go in for free. Dylan was upset that he didn't get to go with me at TFCON, but he's at that age now where he gets bored easy. So he'd be in his room playing Minecraft while I was down there in the lobby eating hot chips with you guys. All right. Well, this is going to be our last Transformer question.
Okay.
I know the answer already. What's your favorite Transformer character? Any fiction, any media?
That would probably be Starscream.
I had a feeling.
Second, though, is Swindle.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he was played off pretty good. I think he's the only combiner figure that they actually gave a good story to.
I used to always joke, just about all. It was always like the one limb, all the combiners. Yeah, Swindle, Slingshot had a good story.
First Aid.
First Aid had a story. Of the Stunticons, Dead End had probably the most prominent personality.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Elite's just hit us with another super chat. And I think just because you're on this channel and you were introduced early on for me testing out a super chat reward, I'm going to go ahead and throw that one out for you. And I apologize in advance.
Oh, do you find me sexy? Oh, look at my titties. Oh, my titties! Ah!
There you go, Leeds. Thanks.
I hope those super chats are worth my pain. Okay. So if you guys want to see watching me suffer, throw more on this guy.
Oh yes. Oh, I don't think Hoist saw that one. Now you talk about a guy who drove a long way. Hoist drove from Florida to TFCON by himself.
Oh dear Lord, we had one of our guys flew from Florida, but I could not have done that. I take my hat off to you, sir.
Bert was not going to go to TFCon until his wife cashed in all their Delta miles or whatever, and he got to fly for $12 to TFCon.
Yes, told me about that.
I thought that was pretty slick. All right. Well, now let's get into YouTube. So a lot of these questions are addressed to YouTubers, but I guess for you, it might go more into podcasting or about your channel. Well, before we get started, why don't you tell these people who may not be used to you about Figure Action?
Well, okay, cool. The Figure Action podcast is actually Extra Zero's the guy who started it. It was him, T-Man 978. Actually, Deluxe Baldwin was on the first couple episodes. And then we've got other guys, Joe Crab and Matt. The idea was a lot of podcasts were just kind of sitting there and just frankly complaining. This isn't right. Hasbro's doing too many. The figures are too light. Repaints are just almost. A lot of the fun got taken out of collecting. So we got to get. Oh, God.
All right. Extra Zero. Thank you so much for the super chat for Dave's suffering. Dave, let's see. Let me find something good for you. I have no problem embarrassing myself. So here's one of these. I made that one at work, and I was over at my desk just laughing so hard. Oh, Memo hits it with a super chat. I know what Memo likes. He likes sound waves. Let me find this one. Isn't as hard on the eyes.
Ravage, eject.
Okay, I like that one.
That's right.
Oh, one of the greatest moments in movies, though. Got it. Bumblebee.
And that's what I am so worried about this new one.
Yeah.
I mean, 2007, that was all right. Revenge of the Fallen sucked. I like Dark of the Moon. And then they just went downhill. Then Bumblebee, holy shit, that's a good movie.
We finally do it right.
Yeah. I mean, there's a guy who loves Transformers. He's got a story. The figures look, or the characters look right. And now we got this one where it looks like they're throwing everything in, including the kitchen sink. So I don't know. I'm very reserved on it. As much as I am worried about it, I'm still going to see it.
I did not see the last one. I shouldn't say it like this. I found a hacked version of.
Oh my God! Everybody I've talked to, that's how they've seen it. That's how I saw it.
I still wanted my money back.
I didn't make it a half hour in. I was like, "This is stupid."
I tried watching it. I'm like, what movie am I? I lost so much track of what was going on with that movie.
I'm sitting there like, wasn't he Galvatron in the last one? And that's my biggest complaint with these movies. They never made sense going from one to the next.
Why he kept changing? Okay, the closest was in between Revenge of the Fallen and the first one of actually seeing him reformat. But yeah, the Megatron, Galvatron, there was no continuity, and he never really did anything with those forms. I mean, when he was the Jet, he looked imposing when he was asking them to bail out Decepticons for no apparent reason. Yeah, I could talk forever of why I hate that movie.
Yeah, that's a whole nother stream.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. It's a figure action podcast. We're talking about the positivity of collecting, of honestly the camaraderie-ship of it all, of the fun to it. Whether you know what, I don't like this figure. This figure is wrong. Okay, I'm not spending my money on it, but you spent your money on it, so obviously you're enjoying it. You know, somebody might enjoy every Combiner Wars repaint of that Prowl. Cool. If you buy it and you like it, you win. We're not gonna lambast somebody for buying the thing we don't like. There's
It's like I was thinking about repaints. I just got this guy today. And I think this Cliff Jumper mold has to be used probably as much as the Siege Seeker and Sideswipe mold.
Well, you got to remember also back then, we kind of accepted it more. I mean, we accepted the 3 Seekers initially.
And we never question it.
And we accepted the 3 Datsuns. We accepted the Lambos. You know, Sideswipe, Red Alert, they were the same mold. I don't think they ever did do a third one, but Tiger Tracks didn't come out till eHobby. And then we accepted Ironhide, Ratchet. They were repaints.
Grapple, Inferno.
Yeah, so...
Let's see if we missed anybody.
And if you really want to complain, the Scourge and the Sweeps, they didn't even bother recoloring them.
No kidding. I actually bought the Studio Series 86 Sweep when I got him home and actually looked at him like it's the same figure. I took it back. I was like,
at least they give it a slight repaint.
Yeah. His hand went from this to that.
And a slightly different shade of blue.
Yeah. There we go. Rodimus. I missed die-cast parts.
Die-cast construction. It's a lost art.
That's what amazed me. I bought down to lobby at TFCON this KO of the Legends class Megatron that I forgot what that was a KO of. It had a metal chest, and that's totally what sold me on that figure. Swoop is better being red. And Rumble is blue.
Rumble is blue.
All right, there we go. So that's arguments over.
Yeah.
All right. So now, after talking about that, let's get into a little bit more. What possessed you, a grown-ass man, to do toy reviews or do toy podcasts?
I figured my opinion was worth knowing.
There you go. That's all that matters.
I mean, that's what it all goes down to. I mean, as unfortunately, you guys can't see this because it's all in a state of disrepair. Yes, that is a toilet right there. I'm not that bad in North Carolina, but because my basement is currently being repaired from flooding, but this whole area is kind of like your area of bookcases of stuff from Transformers, Marvel Legends, to every Mortal Kombat figure out there, NECA, the works. And yeah, I just wanted to get my voice on record.
That would have been awesome if you would have done this show sitting on that toilet.
You know what? Unfortunately, Hale Hasbro already has that patented.
I know. He sends us photos on Messenger from time to time. I'm in Target today blowing this one up. Hale Hasbro.
Hale Hasbro.
Hale Hasbro. All right. Well, what keeps inspiring you to get in front of your camera or microphone?
Masochism? No. Honestly, and I said for me, it's with the guys. If you haven't caught our show, Thursdays, 9:00 Eastern time here on YouTube, look it up, Figure Action Podcast.
We got a link in the description of this video.
We got a damn cool crew. We got some very good camaraderie, and it's just knowing I'm part of this group. North Carolina, there isn't much of a scene here as I'd like it to be.
Hell, come to West Virginia. I am the scene.
And so it's nice being able to stay on top of it all and being able to keep on track with these people. I didn't meet the Figure Action Podcast guys in person until TFCON Reston, even though we had been on the show for a while. And it's the minute I saw them, it was like I felt like I've been hanging out with them for years. Like it was such a cool feeling. And yeah, I
Oh,
keep coming back because I like my boys.
And that's the amazing thing, because that's the main reason I was looking forward to TFCon, like hanging out with Bert and Kato and Deluxe. Now, I've met Bert before, I met Deluxe before, but then meeting these guys, and it's like we was old friends that went to high school together. And then in the lobby, you'd look over, you'd see your crew hanging out, you'd see the other crew hanging. It was like high school. Everybody had their little groups, and it was just boom. And it was no problem from each group to go say hi to the other group and so on and so forth. And it was just an awesome time.
So if you went to TFCon Wrestling, it was just a whole bunch of guys in black T-shirts and blue jeans.
And I remember seeing you guys. I was a little peon then. I think I was only about 2,000 subs.
Oh.
I had like a couple people come up and go like, "Are you him? I don't recognize you with the hat on." But I remember that's where I first met T-Man. I recognized his voice right off the bat.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Dude, that guy can get a girl pregnant just with his voice, I swear.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
Oh, that was great. That was great. All right. Now I must have laughed too hard. My contacts just got blurry. All right. Question number 8. There are thousands of toy reviewers on YouTube. What makes your group any different from the rest?
Probably just we try to concentrate the positivity of it all. I mean, we speak our we have our 2 cents. We'll never try to say that you are wrong and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, I hate that attitude. You know, there's some people, I hate the saying elitism. You know, they'll say your collection is trash or things like that. We are not like that. You know, again, you like what you like. If you could only you can't collect the entire line. You can only cherry pick because that's your thing. Awesome. Hopefully you get what you like, and as long as you enjoy it, that is the most important thing of being a collector. You want to collect only left legs of combiners. Cool. You know, I mean, that's your thing.
And I will guarantee you there's a Facebook group for that.
Probably. You only want to collect the repaints, you know? Okay, you don't like the sides. You hit the red alert, you don't get the side swipe. You get the Outback, you don't buy the Hound, whatever, or the Huffer, not Huffer. You get the pipes and don't buy the Huffer, whatever, you know. That's what we are. We want you to enjoying, you know. Can't get the Solo Shogoken, got to get the Hasbro one. Cool.
And I've noticed with our YouTube community groups, and it seems to be a lot of positivity. Of course, you go into Facebook, you always get the trolls and people like that. But like the YouTube community, everybody is just boom. I said, yeah, if you think the G1 Megatron should only be a gun, fine. But then there's other people, no, he should be a tank. I'm cool with it. So probably a bad analogy. I just happen to have him in my hand. Don't know why.
I'm actually in the next room. That's a real gun, and I'm behaving. This is his basement. That's my toilet. No.
All right. Let's see. All right. We were kind of went into this. Question number 9. What's your thoughts on the Transformers social community, i.e. YouTube, Facebook? And do you have any special shout outs yourself?
It's just like every fan community. You got your good spots, you got your bad spots. I mean, my shout outs always are going to be T-Man 978. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Third party collectors, a guy named Antoine Lewis who runs that site on Facebook. Amazing. If you haven't seen that one, he was actually at TFCon. He actually recorded a version, another angle of the Hot Chip Challenge. The guy is just a silent ninja and curates some of the best news. Balt Matrix, he's phasing away from the reviews, but he is doing a lot more of the news stuff and staying on top of that.
I talked to him for quite a bit right before I went to my room at TFCon. He was in the panel room. That's where I met Bert, and we got to talking for a long time. He was a really nice guy.
Pake for Life, another good guy. He was actually running working at the Toy Dojo booth. So those are my shout outs. I mean, my opinion of the community is you gotta find your group and roll with it and just try to stay out of those negative holes. You never know why the other collector is doing it. Some people do it for posturing. Some people do it because they like the stuff. Some people are trying to be that big fish in a little pond.
And some of them are just braver behind the screen with their keyboard than they are in real life.
Exactly.
Block crazy. T-Man's right there. And plus, when I first really got into the Facebook and Transformer groups, I joined almost everyone I could find. And then, you start deleting. I was like, okay, there's just a bunch of, I think I maybe am with 5 groups right now that I really like.
I mean, like with the third party, there are people who are Fans Toys elitists. You know what? Fans Toys doesn't make always the best of everything. I still like, for third party, just as an example, I still like the Bad Cube version of the Insecticons. That's my favorite one. And there's some groups who would completely say, what the hell, you should get out of the hobby altogether.
I think the one I hate the most is people that always bash on us G1ers. How can you like that? They're trash. I'm like, man, it's G1, baby.
It's also, we grew up with G1. That is our nostalgia in our hand. And I can't, as I said, so for me, I guess I said, just stay with a group that makes you feel uplifted.
Exactly. There's enough negativity in the world. We don't need it in our plastic robot heaven.
Even if someone wants to defend The Last Night, whatever that last Bay movie was.
Yeah.
Never mind. Screw them.
Beast Wars gets a lot of unwarranted hate. It seems like it's been revitalized a little bit with the Kingdom line, but I saw in some of the Facebook groups that they're getting pissed now because, okay, Kingdom's introducing Beast Wars, and the high hopes was that Beast Wars was going to continue, but now it seems like Legacy is just going everywhere.
Well, okay, you want to hear a controversial thing?
Yes.
I liked Beast Machines better.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I did like the end of Beast Machines. I thought that
it all built up to that beautiful, amazing, and you had this long journey of what the heck, why the heck, is there a plant? What's going on? And then just that ending, you're just like, okay, that was worth it.
That was an amazing ending. That's one of the best endings of a Transformer series.
Exactly. So
Beast Wars was a continuation of G1.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when they first, if you went back to the history when Beast Wars first came out, the very first episode, they talk about a great war. Now, the writers knew nothing of G1. They just decided, let's throw in a great war. It was all us G1 nerds that said, oh my God, they're talking about the war between the Autobots and Decepticons. And of course, back then when the internet was new, message boards hit, and the writers were like, okay, let's work with this. Because I think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes later when Cheetor has a dream sequence of Cybertron, you see Starscream fly by with a Decepticon insignia. And I remember the G1er in me was like, it was just.
What about the episode when Starscream's ghost took over Waspinator?
Yep. And then you had Unicron.
Yes. And then, well, now, you got to remember when Beast Wars first came out toy-wise, they were actually saying that Megatron was the same G1 Megatron, who's just now a.
Yeah, he scanned a T-Rex at a museum or something.
Yeah, it was just, yeah.
Which kind of made sense then. Like, okay, yeah, he's a gun. So, yeah, I'm going to scan a T-Rex now. But, like, how does that fit?
He was originally supposed to be an alligator?
Yeah, I have that one. All right, well, let's see. Question number 10. This is our last one. Do you have any channel goals for yourself, and where can our viewers find you? Plug yourself.
My goals for Figure Out, again, it's actually more of extra zeros, baby. But for me, if I'm doing my whole manipulations from the side, from the background thing, is I would love it to be a corner of the internet, again, for people just to go to and smile. We try to get a lot of fun people on there. We've had some snippets of insiders. We've had John Bailey, as the voice actor John Bailey, on there. We had the designer Cassie Sark on there, and it was just some of the coolest things of getting these little bits of info. And I would love our show to be one of those places where somebody could go to talk about their stuff, know they're not going to get attacked or lambasted or anything on that. A channel that people can go on And hopefully, yes, we try to, we interact with our chat big time. And we want to make sure everyone just feels good doing what they do. And I would love Figure X to almost be almost a standard, like not the bastion of hope per se, but like
a beacon.
A beacon.
A light in the darkness.
Yes, to light the darkest hour of the fandom.
Oh, we just segued into that. Perfect. That wasn't even planned, ladies and gentlemen. Or I think we're just gentlemen.
And if you we might get a couple ladies on there. We actually had a really cool, like I said, we had this really cool couple. They had gotten engaged, and both the guy and the girl would interact with would be taking over their channel, saying like the husband, the boyfriend had fallen asleep, but listening to us, and she was she got hooked on the show, and vice versa. But we'd love to be one of those places just where people could just come in and be them. Like, I'd love to have. I'd talk to one of us. We'd love to have you on the show, probably.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And again,
I always host. I'd love to be on a show.
just to kick back and talk about your stuff. Well, actually, we had a suicide girl on our channel.
Oh yeah, I know what those are.
Yes, and it was an interesting insight. I'm not gonna lie, she was a complete and total thirst trap. And the more I learned about her, the less interesting it got. But then I learned about her fiance, and he was the coolest guy out there. So you're like, there's a girl who likes to take her clothes off, but I want to talk to the guy. My wife was probably very.
Well, if you're on a podcast, yeah, I mean that's a big difference. I mean, it's audio.
Yeah, but it was fun. And do you want to catch what we are all about? Like I said, there's a lot of girls who like Transformers.
Oh, they do. I was just referring to this chat.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of women. There's a lot of collectors groups. And if you see them, never talk down to them. Let them be them.
They're cool. I met quite a few at TFCON last weekend. I talked in the hallway with a bunch of them right after Bert and I got mistaken for sports guys.
This one girl, she had this awesome skirt that was like the old background art on the back of the G1 box.
I saw that. That was
I had to take the time. I'm like, I'm not creepy guy. I just have to say that there's some serious love in there.
Yes. Did you see this lady? The one? Are you talking about the one that was in the crocheted outfit? I mean, head to
also
toe.
a girl who had one. She had like the light up visor. And all. So,
and there were some great costumes. The Waspinator, the Black Arachnia, that Soundwave.
That Soundwave was rocking, and yeah, I saw.
He was a cool dude. I talked to him for a long time.
Way back, I remember way back in ShardaCon, back in Charlotte, there was a guy dressed as Prowl.
Hey, were you there?
Yeah. I hate you. I couldn't get it.
You couldn't get it?
That was one of the best made exclusives ever using that mold.
I think what they only made 75 of these or something like that.
They were all there, and they were all spoken for.
Wow. That was my very first Transformers convention. That's what brought me really back into this big time. That's where I got my nickname Patriot Prime.
Right, because you just got the tattoo.
I just gotten the tattoo.
And you were showing it to everyone.
Yep. Well, I just had it done. It was sore. I had the tank top on.
Fair enough.
And that's where I had it done. I had it done down in North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I was sitting there. Actually, they had a Matrix there, and the guys, they had a Matrix I think they were giving away. And I got a great picture.
Yeah, like at the trivia contest.
Yeah, but I got a picture of my daughter holding it over her head. She was like not even a year old.
My son was at TFCon. He was cooking at the time. We didn't know he was in there. All right. Well, that's it for the SITREP. So now we'll open it up to the chat. If anybody's got any questions, we're at 44 minutes in. I usually try to keep these at about an hour because, work in the morning and stuff. Plus, I got to finish toy hacking this Galvatron. I've got such a backlog of figures to review, of Toyhax decals to do. My ShardaCon. Where did we just come from? TFCon. Did you get the Pistolonics?
I did not. I actually made it's weird. I went through this convention. This is the only convention I did not buy a Transformer product.
Really?
I bought.
Kudos to you.
Well, I bought stuff. I ended up going by this new company called Archcore, which is from Toy Lines. They had like
Did you
the
get
little
that Mad
Warhammer
Max
bags.
thing?
I bought every damn one of them.
Oh my God. Oh, Elites, thanks again. What shall we give you now? What haven't you seen yet? Let's
Bracing.
see.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. See.
You know, I had a lot more of those, and I got copyrighted. I had that one. That song. I touched myself. It was fitting, but I got copyrighted struck.
Hold on. Trivia about that song. Transformer related trivia about that song.
Ooh.
If you look up the music video, hot video.
Yeah.
Michael Bay directed it.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. Oh yes. Thank you, Rodimus. He actually was in a roundtable discussion with Hasbro the other day, and he brought up Thunderwing. We need a new
Yes, we do.
Thunderwing toy. So, and I don't want IDW Thunderwing. I hate that version of him with that jack-o'-lantern looking face he has.
Oh.
Yeah, but look at the G1 box art of the original Thunderwing.
Oh, I know. Well, again, remember Simon Furman fan. I love Thunderwing.
Oh. And it was so funny because that figure, the toy sucks. He looks good, but it's not a fun toy. But because of Simon Furman, that's why that toy is worth so much.
Way.
Same way with Bludgeon.
Well, I actually got a question here from Mr. Benjamin G. Whitcomb.
Oh, here we are.
What transfer have I bought that just completely disappointed or hated? Well, first one came to mind was Armada. Was it Armada Wheeljack? No, not Wheeljack. I love Wheeljack.
Sideswipe, the one with those big old forearms.
Yeah, or that flipped around to the back. Yeah, the Sideswipe. Then they made him into Oil Slick. That is easily a figure I despise. I loathe. A figure that really disappointed me would probably be the Combiner Wars Skylinks. That really let me down.
Oh, that was just a little Voyager figure, wasn't it?
Well, it was one of the core guys that became the chest for the Combiner Wars, and it had
I never saw that one.
The links, Sideswipe is Armada Sideswipe. That's what I was talking about. But the legs were absolutely horrendous, and I was like all excited to finally get a Skylinks, and it was just complete utter crud.
Now it couldn't separate, could it? It was
nope, it could not.
Okay.
It took everything that I liked about Skylinks, and I was just like, I'm finally getting one new.
Commander class Jetfire retooled into Thunderwing. I would like to see, because I know they can do it now, make him a Pretender. And you know they could do a fully articulated Pretender shell with the robot on the inside.
Do you ever like another one? Any other G2 Transformer? What was my favorite? Gotta go Bruticus. Because he truly was one bad Dudicus.
And those collars.
Oh yeah, G2 Ramjet. G2 Ramjet was pretty cool. The sound box was pretty neat on that too. But I've always Bruticus has always been my favorite combiner, even more than Predaking. So
kind of G2. I picked this up at TFCON. I cannot wait to get him opened and reviewed. Though my buddy Larkin, he reviewed him and had one in the package new too. Opened it up, and the rubber hose was already broke in the package.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'm kind of paranoid because it's pinched really bad right there. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I may heat it up before I open it. Gotta love that heat in the figures, man. All right. Somebody had something. Get a Voyager class rail racer team. That was a great set. That's one of those ones I really regret selling back in the day.
That was actually one of my highlights from the Robots in Disguise days. I thought that was just a beautiful combiner. And
solid. It was a solid dude. Especially it made it only 3. Up here's somebody else. Oh, there's Shane High. Hey, Shane. That's the
easy fix for them. Okay.
Cut them off.
I got the Earthrise Skylinks. I'm happy.
Yeah, that thing's an amazing figure.
So, I mean, the Combiner Wars Skylinks, I kept them combined. That's about it.
Of course, going back to Thunderwing, I've mentioned so many times is we have got 84 through 86 so much. Every line that comes out, we're getting remolds or redos of those figures. There is so many characters from 87 to 91 that they haven't touched. I mean, look at all the different Micromasters we have that would actually make pretty good deluxe size vehicles.
I was still impressed when they redid the Dreadwing and not Dreadwing Smoke. Oh, actually, I would love a remake of Dreadwing and Smoke Jumper. By the way.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about a good G2 figure? Dreadwing and Smoke Jumper, absolutely a gorgeous, unique form. I had the Beast Wars versions of that, that was actually a Starscream and BB. So
I've got both the G2 version and the RID version. I like the RID version because the missiles actually lock in. Because with the G2 version, you move him wrong, those things are dumping all over the place. Yes, we need a squeeze play and a horrible to go with Fangry.
Agreed. How old is this hat? This hat is... I picked this up when I moved to Raleigh. This is a 10-year-old hat.
I've got a hat from the 2007 movie. It was I picked it up at the GM dealership.
What else would be a good one other than Thunderwing? I think another underappreciated character.
Roadblock. Remember that one? That was one of my favorite Mega Pretenders. He turned into the green vehicle with like the big bulldozer front.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the one that was almost like the clamshell.
Yeah, car. It was the clamshell, and he'd pop out and turn into a hovercraft, and then he had another little bot. I don't know what this is about.
Really? I said that a ton at the beginning of our show.
Ooh. Blue Bacchus. Who was he a repaint of? I remember. I know
it was a helicopter. Blue Bacchus was a helicopter.
Yeah.
Because Blue Bacchus and Thunderwing were also in Master Force. No, it wasn't Thunderwing. It was the black version of him.
Right. I'm sitting there picturing it's weird.
They just made that. That they should. They made it was a Overlord retool from not Combiner Wars, from
Sky Shadow. Was that
Sky Shadow? Yes.
Okay.
Sky Shadow should have been a Thunderwing repaint. Yeah, Sky Shadow and Blue Bacchus were both in Victory. That's it. They were mercenaries that were hired. Damn.
I just can't remember the name of the G1 American version. I'm picturing his collars because he was green and tan.
I can't. He wasn't even in the comic, I don't think.
Mm-mm. They didn't have any of those characters in the comics. I think I know Roadblock showed up in Regeneration 1, which is a pretty nice follow-up, but not in the others. That's going to irk me all night. Late tonight, you're going to get a Facebook message when that pops into my head what that figure is.
This is going to bug me. I try to be a trivia master too. That's the thing. Oh, Crossblades from Nick.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. It saved us from having nerd anxiety attacks.
Now I can sleep tonight. I just had Google pulled up. I was like, here we go. All right. See if we got anything else in here. What?
Huh?
Seriously?
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing. If we're talking about the same Roadblock.
There were some good deals. I will say TFCON, there were some really good vendors there if you knew where to hunt. There was only one table, I think, that was actually a lousy vendor. And that was when you first got in at the far left corner of the room at the front. That was the only guy. He had all the original MP Seekers up there, and everything was jacked up in price.
Oh, yeah. And he didn't want to talk to you either. He was business. I mean, there was no social interaction with him at all.
Everybody else, I mean, Myths and Heroes, Bobby Skullface, he sold all his merch there. One of my friends, he had a show called there's a store there called Crow Mag Toys. There was a store there called Crow Mag Toys, which is actually based in Raleigh. He sold.
Yep, I met him at Sharticon.
Yep, great guy. Almost everybody sold all their stuff, and I was really happy that the vendors were able to make their money.
And everyone I talked to said that was one of the best shows they've done in a long time. And of course, everybody was trapped at home for a year. They're ready to get out and buy some stuff. Oh, Road Buster. Yeah, there's a big difference between Road Buster and Road Block.
Yeah. Well, Road Buster was from the old Gokin line.
Yep, he's up there on that black shelf.
And Whirl. Yeah, Road Buster and Whirl were part of another toy line in Japan called Gokin. I can't remember which was the third one.
Yes, you did, Hoist. You and Bert both. You spent a lot of money at TFCon. I went up in the room with Bert after we left. He had like this bag just crammed full of stuff. He just sat down and went, "Oh."
Bert picked up he just reviewed it, one of my favorite underrated Toy World figures, which was that Orion, which was a version of the IDW Prime, which
he just reviewed that today. I was with him when he picked it up. They had it at Chosen Prime. It was one of the ones on the paper with the plastic sealed around it. And he picked it up and he looked at it. And we're just sitting there talking, and Bert's like, I've spent so much already. And the guy's like, well, I'll take $20 off of it. Bert's like, there you go.
And I think that figure is so underrated because it came out and then IDW changed their design again. So people like really flashed the yeah. I got my Zartan.
Got a decent haul. Everybody got a pretty decent haul.
Yeah.
There was a couple that I wanted, and I just couldn't spend the money, but I did get, I don't think he's within reach. I bought the Magic Square Stunticons.
Ooh.
Because a Rico Red Star right here, no, it wasn't Rico. He gifted me a Funko Pop, but there was another individual who walked up to me and said, hey, I got two of these. I figure I know you like Stunticons, so he gave me these two figures. And I'm like, I can't just have two Stunticons.
Nope.
So I went to Chosen Prime. I think it was Chosen Prime, and I bought Overlord. I always wanted Overlord, so there's Overlord, but that's Motormaster. And then I couldn't find the other two. I had to go on eBay and get them. So here I am in my hotel room right above a huge dealer room full of Transformers on eBay buying other ones. And then I got the giant IDW. I thought I brought him over here. Oh, yeah. This giant Bomber Megatron.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, he looks sweet. I haven't tried to transform him yet because I'm not a huge third-party guy. So these third-party figures are kind of frustrating to me because they're such minute little details. Though I really, after a few days, I got Pistolonics down like that. Let's see. Needle Nose and Quake and the Autobot Double Target Masters. I think we need Needle Nose. We got Quake. We got Spinster.
We actually had Scoop. Scoop came out in
yeah, and he had some really good Target Masters. Those were good ones.
I'm surprised they never remade those. They never reused those Target Masters.
We need Quick Mix and Landfill of that group. Are you talking about the Megatron hoist?
That Prime was. They got almost all my money. That display was just so gorgeous.
I picked it up 3 different times. That giant nuclear commander Optimus Prime.
I got him.
Oh,
he's got if you like diecast, that thing is a tank. It is a tank. It's based off the Rolling Thunder from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the nuclear blast. They had the first one. They didn't have the second one. The second one's got
the nuclear blast was there too.
It was
behind it.
Oh, thank God. I'm actually glad I didn't see that.
They had them stacked together because I pulled out the one because I knew Kato had the nuclear blast. So the one I looked at was the one with just the little missile launchers.
Yeah,
so
I've got that one.
I looked behind it and there was the nuclear blast. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm very thankful I didn't see that then because that was actually number one on my hit list. Though now they are coming out with they're having a third repaint of the nuclear blast using like urban camo colors, and that I might get.
Now I do like the Dominator Megatron they got coming out.
Cannot wait. I just don't know if I should get the Megatron or wait for a repaint.
I hope they do a desert camo one because that gets to me.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They have an amazing. I like the fact no matter you'd see these figures in the box, it's like this Megatron here. I mean, all I've got is I'm going by artwork. There's nothing that lets you know.
But you
what
saw
this
it
looks
there,
like.
and you saw that display case, that beautifully lit case, and it gave me collection display goals.
I would love to have all this in glass. I mean, I'm really strapped for space now. I get a new figure and I have to like rearrange an entire area just to pose him in. Because I don't like doing the standing straight pose. All mine are in some kind of
That's
action pose.
That's me with my Marvel Legends. Oh God, I can't. I hate vanilla posing those things.
Well, David, they're getting a little lower now. You can kind of get the legend ones for about $40 to kind of wet your whistle with. I guess my first official third-party figure I spent about $200 on. I got that Double Evil figure, which is amazing.
I have the MMC version of him. I did not get the Double Evil.
That's the Carnifex one, right?
Yeah, I got Carnifex.
See, I bought that one first, and then when I got him home, that's when I discovered Double Evil. And I'm such a G1 guy, I thought Double Evil is more G1 than Carnifex. So I sold Carnifex on eBay, used the money, from him to get Double Evil. Let's see. I think, oh, there we go. I agree. We need a Knight Rider transformer. It'll be another side swipe mold.
Okay, if we get a Knight Rider, if we get a kit, got to get a car.
Get a kit, got to get a car, got to get a Goliath, got to get a Knight Industry truck. Man, that came out like that. And then we need an airborne.
Hasbro, hire this guy.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it has been an hour. It is now 11 o'clock. TruStarscreamer, thank you so much for hopping on. Absolute pleasure to meet you at TFCON. And I'm sorry again about this, but I didn't put a gun to anybody's head.
You did not. You did not. You caught me at an interesting time when we brought that chip. I literally was saying to myself, I need to do something. I just got into weird little crisis. I'm like, I need to do something really stupid right now. And you came right up. I'm like, okay, there's a sign.
there is Jason from Patriot Prime Reviews. He just screams stupid.
But thank you so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate. I don't know why my camera's not focusing.
I don't know. You slid away for that dramatic blur, I guess.
But I will. Meeting you guys in the crew. I just tripled up my subs already, and thanks for being part of the community.
Yes, sir. No problem. Yeah, if you want me on your show, just give me a holler. I'd love to.
We'll get you set, man.
Excellent. And everybody in the chat, make sure you subscribe to Figure Action. Their link is in the description of this video. So when I shut this off, go ahead and give him a sub.
Awesome.
He did a good promotion for himself. All right. So that is pretty much it. Let me find where we're going. And if you're not, if you're on here, you're probably already subscribed to me. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And always remember, we almost killed a guy. This is Patriot Prime Review signing out. Hooah!